Welcome back to 843 TV. We're on Spring Island and we're talking about the arts program. And Porter, at the end of the last segment, we were talking about a big show coming up at the Coastal Discovery Museum.
Absolutely, yes.
And I know that you are a part of a new group, the Metalworkers group.
Right.
And there's a rumor floating around about a big fish.
Yeah, this is a fish that's been developing, yes. And,
okay. Can you tell us a little bit about this
Sure,
fish?
I'd love to. The fish initially was going to be a solid 12-foot high fish. We quickly understood our limitations, and as a result of it, we became a little thought of something different, and we thought we've got looking for something that's going to be more artistic rather than just looking like a fish. So we're ending up with something that's on a large fishing rod that's about 12 foot tall, and it's a large wind chime that still represents the outside of a redfish, and it will be in the middle of the Coastal Museum exhibit, so it will be the centerpiece that's going to be displayed there.
Okay.
And because we are a new group, we had a lot of challenges because we had to learn how to use a forge and blend the things correctly, and how to outline the fish when we were cutting it out.
Sure.
So there were a lot of limitations that we experienced, but we're overcoming them, and we're going to have a fish by the time it opens.
And it's actually a wind chime.
And it is a working wind chime that's going to be in the key of F for
Key of
fish.
F for fish. Exactly. And it started, we had a workshop instructor come, and I think that's how your group started.
That's exactly right. Yeah, Bobby, it was almost by accident that we got started, because there was a artist coming here who was teaching ceramics, Missy from up in Maine, and she brought her husband with her, and he happened to be someone who taught metalworking and also was a blacksmith. And so we ended up getting 4 or 5 people together, and the arts group said, let him teach a class. Mm-hmm. So myself, I had just moved here the month before, okay. So I went along with 3 or 4 other individuals, and Eric Zinger gave us this class and really got us started and created the interest in doing metalworking. And since that time, now we've grown, and we have a nucleus of very active people and a number of other members now that come in periodically to help and work with us. And we've just recently moved into a facility that's associated with the maintenance shop, because we can't have metalworking going on here where artists are trying to create, right,
and
in a different environment. But we do have a nice facility now where we are building the fish, and we're building another fish for the fitness center to hang some accessories on for a device over there. So we're expanding as we go along.
Well, so you just jumped right in. You moved in here and you jumped right into metalworking, huh?
Jumped right into it, yes, yes. And as we talked about earlier, I had no previous experience with it. And we actually had one individual who did have some experience, and he moved here about 6 months after me, and we didn't have much equipment yet. Yeah. But he had metal shop up in his home. He donated all of his metal that he had, and he donated all of the working equipment he had. Wow. And then after that, we had to go out and buy a lot of equipment. So we have a plasma cutter, we have 3 welding machines. We just recently acquired a forge, so we can do blacksmithing. And
I have no idea what they are.
It's many of these things, and we've had to learn about how to use them. Right. And safety is what has always been our major concern. And that's what we learned from Eric, was how to do this safely. And the creative part will come along.
Sure, sure.
Well, I forget what I was going to say, but is it just men in this group?
No, absolutely not. We actually, when the class was taught by Eric, we've now had 2 classes from him. The second one was more formal, and we actually had 3 women in that class. The first time it was just myself, 2 other women, and 1 other man.
Really?
Yeah, so it was 50-50. And we do have another real active member, a lady who works with us on our different pieces of it, and she helps the creative part. She's actually an artist and also a ceramics person, so she helps us sometimes in drawing out what we need to do and things like that. Yeah. And we expect that there have been a lot of interest shown from other women, but now that we're in a permanent facility, we expect that number to go up, and they really like the sparks. You get a lot of sparks when you're when you're cutting the metal and when you're doing the welding.
Sparks, that's good.
Sparks are important.
So I find it just fascinating that I mean, Lark, you mentioned you're ceramics
I'm
focused
clay.
now, and
I am.
you're metal focused now. But and Bobby, or do you have a special
And ceramics and,
Ceramics, too?
and photography.
in photography? But none of this was part of your profession,
Not
or
at
your
all.
life before
Not at
coming
all.
to Spring Island. And it seems like you're all fairly passionate about these things now. Is that true?
I would say.
For sure. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, absolutely.
We
And I
love
think
it.
that's fabulous. I mean, whether it's art or golf or riding horses, I mean, it seems like Spring Island is running has a full suite of amenities that really foster some life after a career. Would you agree?
Lifelong learning,
Yeah.
absolutely. In our sports center, we have a wonderful program there for health and wellness, and we think the arts program develops your creative side.
Absolutely.
Well, it's been proven that if you're in a learning environment and you pay attention to your physical health, then you're going to live longer. But the social environment, I think, is the most important aspect of the whole thing. And here you can do something different every 2 hours, every day.
You could.
And just be exhausted by the 8 o'clock at night and just start all over the next day. It's just an amazing place.
And a place to get to know your neighbors.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly.
Well, this is great. Thank you all so much for joining
Thank
us.
you for
Thank
having
you.
me.
It's
Thank
been
you.
a pleasure.
Great to
Yeah.
talk to you about it.
And thank you for watching 843 TV.
Where communities come to speak.